Hi, my name is John Mallory. I'm from White Light Paranormal. In this episode, I'm going to be investigating Oddfellows Hall number 90 in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. The Independent Order of Oddfellows is a global organization that strives to improve and elevate humankind while promoting personal and social development. They are a direct descendant of the centuries-old Oddfellows fraternity and still utilize their triple-link symbol, which represents friendship, love, and truth. Historical documents are missing, but the earliest known Oddfellow document dates back to England in 1748. Historians believe a group of medieval tradesmen formed a fellowship as far back as the 12th century and invited other fellows or tradesmen to join and share their core values. They've always believed in supporting one another, which was uncommon centuries ago, and may have caused others to view them as being odd or out of the ordinary. During the French Revolution, which began in 1789, the English government feared fraternal organizations like the Oddfellows might revolt and use their collective resources to help fund any member who went on strike for a long period of time. As a result, the government passed several acts in the late 1790s to suppress fraternal societies and shut them down. Although many lodges closed, others went underground and developed secret handshakes, passwords, and ciphers for use at their meetings. Many artifacts were purposely destroyed to protect practicing members from being discovered, prosecuted, but many of their secrets still remain to this day. In 1803, the Oddfellows experienced a sudden resurgence all across England, and 7 years later, several lodges in the Manchester area joined forces to form the Independent Order of Oddfellows. This new offshoot was very well organized, and they eventually persuaded other lodges to join them. They went on to found their first North American lodge in Baltimore, Maryland in 1819. Their first Canadian lodge in Montreal, Quebec in 1843, and their first British Columbia lodge in Victoria in 1864. Their first Vancouver lodge was founded in 1887 on Hastings Street, and the particular lodge I will be investigating was built in 1922 and is located at 1443 West 8th Avenue, Vancouver. It's interesting to note that this lodge will be celebrating its 100th birthday next year. You can visit their website at vancouveroddfellows.com to learn more and discover all the wonderful charity work they do for their local community and throughout the world. An ex-staff member that experienced some things here. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, so she was doing some work for us, caretaking the building just a year or two ago, and she considers herself quite sensitive to this kind of thing, and she never felt it was malevolent, but she did not like to come, especially into the main hall, I think, at night by herself, because she said twice she was wearing a sweater, and she felt it wasn't imagined, it was a definite tug on her sweater 2 different times. And she didn't feel it was ever, anything bad, but she just still didn't want to come into the hall when she was alone at night.
Right, and then you said something about a dime as well.
Yeah, and I'm not sure where that took place, but she was cleaning or something here, and she put some things down, and she went around to do something, and she came back, and she swears that right there was a dime that had not been there before. Those are the stories that she had told me.
You mentioned back in the 70s that two of your members just were tragically killed. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, just one of the old timers, 20 years ago probably told me the story that it was quite sad. We had two of our Rebeccas, they're called, our female members at the time. And winter's night, the meeting ended, and they walked out the front door, and a block down is Hemlock Street, which is quite busy approach to the Granville Street Bridge. And tragically, they stepped off the curb, and they both got hit by a car and died. And this fellow went out and comforted them, or tended to them anyways.
That's horrible.
1970.
So I'm here with Steve Snodgrass. He is a member, and he is actually a trustee and the building manager, and he's been so kind as to show me through the building, so I'll just follow you.
Yeah, sure. Well, you could show the folks the grand room if you want by doing a...
Great. Actually, yeah, why don't we start here? Is there anything you can tell me about this room? This is your main hall?
This is our main hall where we meet. We have in the past rented it out. We do events here, we do fundraisers here.
Secret initiation ceremony.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So this is called the main hall, is that right?
Yeah, this is
Okay. And Walter, you were saying the ex-employee, is this the room that she felt the tugging, or is that upstairs?
Almost positive she felt the tug twice in different times in this hall.
Okay.
She told me definitely she'd no longer like to come here at nighttime when she's by herself. She didn't feel scared, but she felt uncomfortable. So she'd do all her work out there that she had anything to do, didn't want to come in here.
Okay, good. I think this is
I've
where we'll
often been
focus.
here alone and heard strange noises.
Have you? What have you heard? Do you mind me asking?
You know, it wasn't like a door slamming, but it was more like a thump.
Okay.
And it wasn't mice. I can tell you that. Mice don't thump.
Where do you think it came from?
You know, I couldn't find out where it came from.
Okay.
I was down here and I heard it. I thought it came from in there, and I looked to see if something had fallen over, but it wasn't that kind of a sound. It was just a heavy thump.
Okay. Anything else you can remember or experienced?
No.
Okay.
No.
And how many years have you been here?
I think I've been a member here almost 20 years.
Wow. And this thump, did that happen recently, or?
Within the last couple of years, yeah.
Okay. Great. I'll just follow you.
Yep. So,
All right, so I have just pulled up in front of the Oddfellows Hall. The investigation was scheduled to be tonight, however, it's been delayed, and the Oddfellows have opened up their hall to the homeless as a warming center. It's a fantastic, wonderful thing that they're doing, so we'll just schedule this investigation for another weekend. You know, the day of the interview, I asked Walter if we would be the very first paranormal investigation team through this hall, and he said we would. So have you ever had any other paranormal teams through this building in the past, time since you've been here?
No, it's never come up. We've never had anybody, and it's a quiet little spot in the center of Vancouver, little treasure, but it's just been our small little room.
Okay. So that got me thinking. Paranormal activity tends to ramp up just before an investigation, and it also continues after an investigation, especially the first time. So what I did is I put some digital recorders in the hall the night of the interview. I put one in the main hall and I put one upstairs to see if I could catch anything. And sure enough, around 4 o'clock in the morning, I caught a strange sequence, which I'll play for you now. All right, and there's also something else that's quite interesting. You may recall that Steve said that he heard a loud thump one evening, and he went to investigate, and he couldn't figure out where that sound was coming from. Well, a couple of nights ago,
Another Oddfellow was upstairs by himself around, well, just after midnight, and a loud thump occurred behind him. Now, there is video of this in the surveillance cameras. They didn't get the audio, but I'll play that for you now. So it makes me wonder if these three are somehow connected. We're going to have to do a bunch more investigation, but it is curious.
We're just a few weeks into 2021, and COVID-19 continues to claim lives at a record rate. To reduce the risk of spreading the virus, my normal investigation partner and I have decided to conduct separate solo investigations of the same location. Katie Ackerman and I have been investigating together for the past 10 years. She gave me my start by accepting me into her small group and has taught me most of what I know today. I start my investigation in the main hall. I have a laser grid set up to detect movement, a REM pod set up to detect electromagnetic energy, and an EVP station set up to detect spirit communication with my Panasonic DR60 voice recorder and Panabox spirit radio. Because I'll be in complete darkness, I'll be wearing a helmet cam that sends video directly to my video glasses so I can see while recording everything I do see. I've mounted 8 infrared lights on the helmet cam to help illuminate the room and make it easier to see while I'm walking. I'll spend the next hour trying a series of different experiments to see if I can capture anything. I've got a laser grid pointed at this piano, and I have another device on the piano keys, and if you touch that antenna, some lights will go off and some noises will go off, and it'll tell me you're here. It will not hurt you. So I ask for you to please go up to the piano if you can right now and just try and play that piano. Can you do that for me, please? Or touch the device on the keyboard. I figure if you are able to tug a woman's sweater, you could probably push a key so I can hear you try to play that piano. As you can see, I've got a bunch of medals. The IOOF Independent Order of Oddfellow medals. These are all objects that past members have. I mean, obviously these mean a great deal to past members. So I'm asking if there's any spirits here to come up and to interact with, to try and grab any of these medals. Now, I do have a device with an antenna in the middle of those, and what I'd like to ask you to do is to try and touch that antenna, because if you do, the lights will light up and there will be a noise, and that'll tell me that you're here. So can you please do that for me now? I'll just stand back a bit. I've got a camera filming. There's also a ball. I'm going to point at it. There's a ball right there, and if you'd like to try and move that, that would be great as well. Who's here with me? Can you tell me your name, please?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. What is it? Can you please give me your name again? Are you an Oddfellow or a Rebecca?
In your neighborhood.
Are you an Oddfellow or a Rebecca?
They will not be
If there's anyone here, can you say hello? I'll hear you through the Panabox, through that radio that's scanning. Please just say hello. I'm listening for the word hello. You're scared? Are you scared to touch it? I will not attempt to make you cross over to the other side if you don't want to, but if you need my help, I will find people to assist you.
So try that here. Oh, was that you that just did the bloom?
No, I thought that, what was that? That sounded like a person's voice.
Is it okay that I'm sitting in this throne? I don't know if it's really called a throne, but it's pretty comfortable. So who's the person that sits here normally?
Next, I moved up to the second floor and took a series of full-spectrum still photos.
Well, the K2 hasn't gone off. So I'm just gonna shut it off for now. What if we try this other game that I've got here? Well, it's not a game really. Okay, I'm just gonna put on this light so I can set it up. Oh. Hold on, what's that gurgling noise? It sounded like water. I'm just gonna see if it was the fridge. So I'm gonna get up and walk. If that was you, you could talk a little louder to me.
I'm just going to shut it off for now. What if we try this other game I've got here? That was like water. I'm just going to see if it was the fridge. I can walk. If that was you can talk a little louder to me.
Okay, we're just gonna do a lap. I'm at the shuffleboard. Is there anyone over here? I thought I heard somebody over at the sofa.
And finally, I headed up into the attic with my helmet cam and looked around the gables. Although I didn't find any evidence up there, there was a nice surprise waiting for me when I got back down to the second floor and reviewed one of my recorders. This is a really long, dark attic. It's pitch black. If I took these glasses off, I wouldn't be able to see anything. It is just pitch black in here. If my battery pack dies, I'm kind of hooped. Although I do have a flashlight, so I guess I'm not. But anyway, here I am in the middle of the attic. It's quite long. I've got a K2 meter here in my hand. I'm just looking in one direction, but it goes about the same length in the other direction. I'm right in the middle. I've got a Panasonic DR60 and a Panabox, and I also have a digital recorder that's been up here all night recording, so hopefully I've caught something on that. But I'm going to do about a half an hour session up here and just see if I can catch anything. If there are any spirits or entities, I ask you to please come forward towards me. And if you can wave your hand in front of this device I'm holding, I might pick up your energy and it'll tell me that you're here. Can you please tell me your name? If you don't like me being up here, can you just simply say, "Get out"? If you're an Oddfellow, can you say the word Oddfellow? And if you're Rebecca, can you say Rebecca? All right, let's play that back and see what we got. It's interesting to note that the voice recorder directly below me on the second floor caught an EVP just about the same time that my helmet cam cut out. Did they know I was there? It's now 1 week after the investigation, and I've returned to the hall with my good friend Tanya, who's an intuitive energy empath healer and reader. I've told her nothing about the location or our findings and ask if she picks up anything in the building. Okay, so we were just talking and you said that you felt that there was a male presence here that was pulling on well, maybe you could just describe what you were picking up.
Well, I know he was pulling on a woman's, I'm not sure if it's a dress, but it's very loose clothing, and was able just to pull it, like pulling it down, just like a little kid would with his mother, like, Mom, like, let's go.
And what was the reason that he would tug on her clothing?
To get her attention.
And is there a reason why he wanted her attention?
Just want to be noticed. Just look at me. I'm here.
And would he have done this on more than one occasion or just once?
Just the feeling I'm getting with me. I think he's done this more than once.
Okay.
Like he wants to make himself that he's here. I think there's something wrong with him. He doesn't seem, maybe my words are not, like he's not all there, like there's something chemical imbalance, mentally challenged.
Okay.
It
Is
could
he
be a past something to his childhood. There's something that it hasn't been fixed. There's something. It's almost his childlike in a man, like his childhood. He's acting like a child in a man's body.
Okay.
And here I see a black man, very old, like meaning old. He was probably in his, back then, maybe between 50 and 60, but could be older. I just say that because sometimes you can't tell. But he's quiet, he doesn't say anything. But he was the odd one in.
Okay.
From everybody else. But he felt he had to be there.
Did you hear that knock over there?
Yeah.
There was just a knock over by the piano.
Right behind the piano where the radiator is.
Could have been the radiator.
If anything, I feel that this place is protected. So if anybody was to come in here that shouldn't be here, they will protect this place and they'll probably scare them just because they're trespassers, let's say. Okay, so as soon as I came to the front of the building, right away I just felt like I was going in a time warp, like another lifetime. So I could just see women and men dressed up very prominent, and like, when you think about way back, like long, dresses and the hats, and you think of the black and white pictures and stuff like that, I think of that. So, but very lots of wealth in this place, lots of power, and just a lot of positive energy. So when I say well seasoned, it's I don't feel any sorts of negativity, except there's probably just a lot of what is the word, when people have differences in opinions. That's the only negative I feel. Like, I didn't even see this when I walked in, and this is exactly what I saw, like going back into time. I saw like a scroll. There's a lot of history, and when I come into this place, I feel like I'm back in time. I feel like I lived in that era. The energy, the sense of feel and smell and architecture that I was living in that lifetime. And being a member, it was almost as if I'm having a is that right? Reincarnation, or or deja vu.
Yeah, okay. And you don't pick up anything, like for the Oddfellows that are here at late at night, you don't pick up anything negative and they shouldn't be worried.
Nothing, no. I just feel that there's some walking energies in the middle plane that feel this is their home and they feel safe, and they just like to connect with people.